Y'all, okay, I just started this series called Alex Cross. It's on Prime. I don't know if it's on anything else, but this is my boy right here. Look. Yeah, check it out. It's called Cross. And the black guy right here is the main character. His name is Alex Cross. He's a detective. This is episode 1, season 1. It just came out. Watch it, y'all.
Angie? It's been a year for Angie. it's been a whole ass year. And her ass be commenting. She be posting shit online
And
too. Mm, mm,
she
mm, mm,
spelled everybody's name right.
mm. She came.
Look who's
She gets extra
here,
points.
guys.
She gets extra points for that one.
Angie got everybody out of trouble that quickly. Angie, are you still at the law firm? Look, I know you hated that job. It's been so long, I feel like you might have a new job by now. You might still have the same job. Where's everybody been?
Yeah,
Where's
we
everybody?
we miss you. Where y'all been at? Like, let us know.
Angie,
If
we're
y'all
still here.
if y'all want to come up on the stage, we can drop the link for you
Oh, you gonna
because
drop
we
the link? Because I'm trying to figure out. Stop giving me shit to do. Girl, I need to hit a panel. Okay. So cute. We going to get. I'm not gonna put her on camera, but you know it's my sister's birthday, so we're just relaxing. We're going to get our nails and feet done. Yay! She's 50 today. No, tomorrow she'll be 50. Okay. Thank you. Yay! Hello, y'all. We are about to make some shrimp egg foo young. You've seen me do it before. You're going to see me do it again. I do not have any chicken broth, so I make my own chicken broth. I just use bouillon cubes or whatever. You got chicken broth in the powder. That's what you see in here right now. I just use up the rest of my powder. I'm going to throw a cube in there. Or you could use better than bouillon. Just create you some chicken broth because you need that for the gravy. So let's get started. I always use Knorr. That's the brand I like. I used my pre-made chicken broth already when I made my wonton soup, so I'm just making some more. Let's get this going over here. Okay, it's Friday night. This is what my husband's taking for lunch tonight. My shrimp is in the sink. I already cleaned my shrimp off. I got 5 eggs. Remember what I tell you? They usually say 1 egg per patty, but it's usually a little bit more than 1, depending on how big the eggs are. So you're just making an omelet. I'm gonna cut up this onion here because it's not gonna be that much. Let's cut up the onion, crack the eggs, and then we'll be this is the seasoning that I use. Accent, seasoning, salt, and pepper. And then we got bean sprouts. I like using the can. It's just easier. You drain it and use that. And then for the liquid seasoning, I use oyster sauce, sesame seed oil, and soy sauce. Okay, both of these are soy sauce. Okay, let's get started. All right, our chicken broth is boiling. Let's just turn that down, let that simmer. I don't want it to boil out, so just keep it on low. I'm not ready for it anyway. And then let's get over here and do these omelets, these egg foo young omelets. All right, we got our eggs in here. I cut up my onion. Here are my bean sprouts that I have drained. I'm going to add it all into the egg. Now, I will tell you one thing. Like, don't put too many eggs because it'll overpower the bean sprouts and the shrimp and everything else you put in it, okay? So, 1 can of bean sprouts, 4 or 5 regular sized eggs is probably the most I would do for 1 can, okay? So, now let me go ahead and cut up. Now, I use raw shrimp because I don't want it to overcook, but some people use pre-cooked shrimp. I've seen people cook their shrimp first in a skillet and then add it. It cooks just fine along with the omelet because shrimp can overcook easily. But of course, you could use chicken, pork, whatever kind of protein you want. Okay. All right, let me get the shrimp cut up and add it in. All right, so I have that all added. I haven't added any seasonings yet. I haven't added my flour. The flour is for thickening because, again, this is a Chinese omelet. That's all egg foo young is a Chinese omelet. So you cut up your shrimp the size you want. All of that's optional. You just need to know the basics on how to put it together. You guys have seen me do this before. All right, so we're just going to get all of this blended in, and then I'll go ahead and add my seasonings, liquid and regular seasonings. And then the last thing I add is my flour, my rice. We're doing white rice with it and gravy, Chinese gravy that goes with it. But my what's the name? My rice is in the rice cooker. So I literally do this in like 30 minutes. It doesn't take long. Okay, so I will be back. This is good enough. Let me go ahead and I'm going to add the seasonings first. The pepper, seasoning, salt, and accent. And then I'll do the liquid. Okay, I added my seasonings. Seasonings, that's going to be pretty much it for the seasonings. When I do the gravy, I just use the liquid. I don't use these seasonings, okay? I just use that for the actual omelet, okay? Because you don't want it to be salty and all of that, okay? So oyster sauce is necessary. That is a bit sweet. Then you have your sesame seed oil, which you know you do not use a lot of that because it's strong. And then we got soy sauce. And I also use my liquid aminos, which is a version of soy sauce. It's just better for you, okay? All right, so I'm going to get these 4 things added in. All right, I got all my liquids in there. I had quite a bit of soy sauce, so I didn't need to use my liquid aminos, but I'll probably have to use that for the gravy. But right now, I just use the soy sauce. These are the same thing, so one or the other. All right, get this added. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and add some flour in there for thickener so I can create the patty. And I'm going to put some oil in my skillet, heat it up, and let's make these patties. And then we'll do the gravy at the end and we'll be done. We all know that I don't measure, but that's about how much flour I used, okay? Because you don't want it too thick. It's just, you can also do a cornstarch slurry. That's just cornstarch in a bowl with some cold water, mix it up, makes a liquid, which is a thickener. But I'm just going to be using flour. I found that just flour is just easier for me. But you can make a slurry, it doesn't matter. All right. Let's see. I'm just checking for if that's thick enough for me. And as it sits, it should thicken up. You don't want it too thick. I'm going to add a tad bit more flour, and then let's get the skillet heated up. All right, our mixture is ready. So the way I do it, and my oil should be hot enough. I just kind of have enough to kind of coat the bottom because this skillet sticks, so I have to use a little more. Okay, but you guys see the texture in that? See how thick that is? Okay, because we're going to create a patty. And then we just make it as much until it runs out, the mixture. And I'm going to do one at a time. And I do like this to keep the patty kind of like fairly formed. Because of course it's going to spread. So I just do like this. You got to let it cook. So I have it like on a medium high. And then I just let it cook all the way. And let it get solid enough so I can flip it without it breaking apart. Here's my chicken broth for my gravy. I have the fire off. That's ready. So I'm just going to flip this like a pancake and let the shrimp cook. And don't have the heat too high because you don't want the egg to burn and the shrimp has to cook all the way through. Okay? And then you just do this until the mixture is done. So you see how it's forming? You see how that's coming together? And you gotta know your skillet, okay? So I know this one sticks, so that's why I got. Now if I had a non-stick, that I was using. That'll be cool. Okay, flip it over. Now we're gonna let this other side cook. And then we'll put it over here on the plate. We're gonna just do each one like that. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit because my oil's nice and hot. Go ahead and turn it down and let this other side cook, and we're just gonna keep going. All right, here are the shrimp egg foo young patties. Okay, now we need to get the gravy going. You see we used up the oil, so I'm gonna put some oil down up in here. We're gonna keep it real simple. Oil, flour, chicken broth, and seasoning. Okay, that oil's hot, okay? Making gravy, so you gotta turn the heat down. Just gonna get the oil hot. So it's hot, turn the heat down. Don't wanna burn your flour and your gravy, and it doesn't take long. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the flour. As that gets thick, then I add the chicken broth, and I could add a little water if I don't have enough broth, and just keep stirring. And then as it thickens up, then I start adding in my sesame seed oil, my oyster sauce, and my soy sauce. Okay, I'll be back. All right, this is actually a lot of flour, so it's gonna make quite a bit gravy. That's okay. I just poured it out the bag. More it came out than I wanted. And flour, even though it doesn't look like a lot, it's gonna thicken up. If you know, you know. So we're gonna cook off some of this flour taste for a few minutes and just keep stirring so it doesn't burn. And we're gonna add the chicken broth. And then continue to stir. We never stop stirring when we're making gravy, or it will burn. All right, I'll be back, y'all. All right, I added my broth. I don't measure, but when it comes to the Chinese gravy, it's usually on the thinner side. Very rarely I've seen it where it's been thicker, but that's more usually of a southern thing. We use thick gravy. So I am gonna see these lumps. I gotta get those out, so I gotta keep stirring until that's pretty much out, and then as it thickens up, I'll add water. But I'll be back in a few minutes after I stir this up. Alright, I haven't added any water yet. Let's go ahead and get our sauce in there. We're going to start with the oyster sauce and then go on from there. Alright, y'all. So we're going to keep stirring. I added the sauce and everything in there. Definitely going to need to add some water. See how thick that is? We're going to thin that out. Put some water up in here. Put it in the gravy and just keep stirring. This is the kind of mess I make when I make gravy with the flour and everything. It's always that way. Ew. Okay, you see how loose it is now, y'all? Now I'm just going to keep stirring and see how thick it gets. And then I'll taste it. Make sure the taste is okay. It should be just fine. Don't want it overly salty. Don't want it overpowered with the sesame seed oil. You got to be really careful with that one. And then, you know, just see how it goes. But I just kind of keep in mind that as it sits, it will thicken up. So even if you think it's a little thin, it will thicken up as it sits. So, you know, people say gravy's hard to make, and it can be. I've been making it a long time, but it is a bit tricky. So, good thing is it's cheap to make. So if you fuck it up, you just pour it out and dry it again. But it's messy. That's the only thing. All right, y'all. So let's get this done, and then we can plate it up. The rice is ready, and patties are ready, and the gravy's ready. I'm going to cut up some green onions, and I just sprinkle those on top at the end. Some fresh green onions. All right, bye. I'll be right back. Rice is done right here. Let's plate it up. All right, so I'll lay some rice, white rice. You can use jasmine rice and all. My husband doesn't like that. So we just pour some of this gravy on the rice. Okay. Make sure that's nice and moisturized. Then we'll put the patties on top and then add some gravy on top of the patties and then the green onions. I'll be back. Okay. 3 nice sized patties right there. We're going to put some more gravy on top, y'all. There you have it. And then let's put the green onions and we'll be done. Okay, I'll just cut up some fresh green onions. I love the way green onions smell. Pop them right here on top. Yes, sir. shrimp, egg fouillon, and gravy. Homemade, ready to go. Bye. See ya.
And to perform the national anthem, it is my honor to welcome the two-time Grammy Award-winning recording artist. Here is Tori Kelly.
Tyson, just knock this motherfucker out, please.